Welcome, viewers, to yet another matchup from Group A. We have two of the bigger names playing here. We have Esper51, who managed to beat me 3-1-1 in the first match of the tournament, versus Mastodon, who is still in the winner's bracket of the tag team tournament right now with Reborn Guinan. So two pretty big name players here. Mastodon, formerly known as Tokyo Magnum. You may hear me call him Tokyo throughout the matchup. Should be real exciting. This is going to be a big deciding match for the group, for the top of the group most likely. And Esper51 more favored in a 1v1 scenario versus Murder more favored in a tag scenario. It'll be interesting to see if Murder can transfer over his abilities in tag to bring out a win here today. So that said, let's go ahead and get things underway. Once we get Murder's hand yellow, here we are. We'll get going. Game 1 is Palace. Bands were Highway and City. We have, it looks like, a 3R start out of both. Murder with 2 shields, though. Second capsule should be spawning now. A little more aura. We see the green aura out of Murder, I believe. Nope, that's Esper, excuse me. Now I got nameplates on. So we see the nature, and we do see he uses a heat and a blazing sword. We also got a green aura out of Murder, who has a glacial wall, trying to stay away from the blazing sword, and manages to tag Esper for first blood. Murder retreats, knowing he'll lose his shield to that glacial wall. Wants to pick up some more skills in aura. Has a purple in hand, possibly return to nature. Looks like he's just trying to keep his distance from Esper for now. Loses the flame sword and the glacial wall there. Fortress catching the flame sword and glacial wall broken by the blazing sword. Picks up another shield and attack. See what he's got here now. That blazing sword's pretty scary, doing 6 damage. With the nature, though, should have a fortress in there somewhere that he should be able to handle what he's got there. There's the return to nature. The other purple may have been a turbulence. Blazing bullet. Sounds like Esper is blocking with the fortress. More blazing bullets. Eventually he'll be able to outspam that if Esper isn't careful. Esper on the chase. Out of range. Nice defense of the stairs there. Doesn't have the right angle that time. Murder still trying to keep his distance here. In range for the blazing sword, though. Dodges the vacuum slash. Nice moves out of Murder. Keeping up the pressure with the blazing bullet. These two are playing fairly conservative fairly conservative Phantom Dust so far. Confusing my titles here. Esper, hiding behind some poles, manages to avoid the little bits of trash damage that can follow. Throws out the gravity press. Murder playing it extra safe, throwing an attack while hanging in the air. Still hasn't quite tagged him with the blazing bullet. That damage did come from a flame sword, which was erased, if we remember. Haven't seen anything but nature out of Murder so far. Could be a single school. Esper throwing a bullet of fire straight up in the air. Murder still looking to get an angle and outspam that fortress. That one was close, almost wrapped around the pole. Esper moving back in on the attack. Has an arc of fire deleted by the vacuum wall. That R recovery is super fast on Murder. I'm going to go ahead and say that I'm pretty sure that's a single school. Unless either one of these can put down some meaningful damage, this could be a draw. Esper picking up another attack. Blazing Bullet this time. Manages to tag Murder. Baits out the vacuum wall. Fang of Tree, not going to connect. Stormblade. Blazing Sword, also not going to connect. Caught by the Blazing Sword. And another Blazing Bullet. Murder taking some damage. Esper always has this ability to get around array shields that should be taking his abilities. Because remember, Murder has the vacuum wall, and I'm not sure what the other shield is. Finally catches the Blazing Bullet. Esper very adept at getting around shields that should be erasing his attacks. It's always something to admire out of him. They're both getting a little low on capsules. We see green out of Esper. Probably another heat. Glacial Wall out of Esper now. That Blazing Sword could be the finisher here. Murder manages to dodge it and create a little distance, keeping himself alive. Another heat onto Esper. Yellow likely to be a healing water. Sadly, as it's a single school, Murder's not likely to have an answer for taking out capsules. I'm starting to wonder, Esper's might also be a single school. I don't know that I've seen anything else out of this arsenal other than nature. Manual aim doesn't connect. Esper giving chase again with the Blazing Sword. Same Blazing Sword he's had in hand the whole time. Ice Sword now. The Esper special. Ow! Murder lets himself be faked out. Gets caught by both swords, and round one goes to Esper on Palace. Again, the guy's a magician at getting around array shields that should be able to catch his abilities. I've had other players tell me that they think, oh, well, as long as I just, bring a fortress and bring a flash hole, Esper's arsenals get shut down. Well, we've seen many players do it, and he gets around them almost every time. Kid's a wizard in the 1v1. Bands again were Highway and City, so we'll be moving on to Panorama for round 2. See if what Murder brings out here. I don't think he's usually one to run Ricochet, but he is an avid arsenal builder. Makes a lot of different kinds of arsenals, so we'll see what he brings out here. Esper also not really known for the Ricochet lasers on this map. I'm willing to make my own call that I think we're going to have a good old melee knockout fight, which could be a lot of fun to watch. Let's see, we got a 4 aura start out of Murder and 3 aura out of Esper. And neither one seems to really be aggressing yet. Murder hits a speed up, so we got the Psycho. 2 speed ups. Esper running with a green aura again. Going to be running Nature. We see another green aura out of Murder, so it's going to be Nature Psycho out of Murder Mastodon. Likely looking to have a speed up melee deck. Hits a 3rd speed up. Esper shooting some blazing bullets at things, I guess. Just breaking some trash. Gotta be a little worried at that +6 start on the speed. Oh, he's dropping the floor. I guess he's trying to prevent a hang. Although there's so many other places to hang, that's not the first place I would start. Downstairs, there's a lot of easy ones. We see a bullet of fire out of Murder. Flash hole by Esper, catches the bullet of fire. Oh, that Armros is going to hurt so bad. Murder is going to have to dig. He's already got the return to nature. Doesn't have a way to Armros his stats back. So that does tell us Esper is running Faith Nature with the Flash Hole and the Armros. Lightning Sword connects. Flash Hole is a thing of the past. Murder getting first blood, but has lost his speed. Last time, Murder also scored first blood with the sword, but that was the only damage he did. Gets caught with the Blazing Sword, doesn't manage to trade it back with the Lightning Sword. Esper using variant number 12 of his Blazing Faith decks. Gets caught after trying to manual off of Blazing momentarily. Neither of his abilities are going to be usable. Oh, I guess he does have a regular Bullet of Fire and Blazing Sword. Uses the Healing Water. Now back able to do that again. Manual aim. Does catch this time. Lightning Sword not connecting for Murder. Murder's Lightning Sword got to be 6 or 7 cost at this point. Getting a little pricey to use. Looks like he's headed back to base to trade in for something else. Pretty deep into his arsenal, having been Armoros and getting all those speed ups, 10 aura. Looks like he did just swap out the Lightning Sword and picked up another shield for the Ice Sword. Get a better... Oh no, he has Psycho Knife. That's what we have here. Ice Sword out of Esper, I'm fairly certain. It's a little difficult to get a good angle in the stairwell. Thank you, camera. Still Fortress on Murder, so he should be able to catch the Ice Sword if he has good timing. I think there's also the Blazing Sword, but he may have caught that earlier. Getting some work done with Psycho Knife. Glacial Wall. Manual aim, so it doesn't connect. And the Glacial Wall timing is perfect out of Mastodon, who is putting in work with that Psycho Knife. Esper not having enough shields. Was kind of light on shields last game too, but we see it being a little bit more effective here. He finally trades back with the Ice Sword. Murder getting a little too slap happy with that knife. Second Ice Sword connects. That's 4 cost. 5 cost, I believe. Esper hits a Healing Water. Murder's pretty low. Esper still doesn't have a shield, though. Has another green. I think he's looking to use it. Cancels the Ice Sword. Murder trying to drop in a way that he won't get hit. Another heat down. See him connect with the Psycho Knife. Esper does have a shield now, though. Not too much aura. His Ice Sword's getting pretty high cost, and he likely can't use a sword and a shield. Does finally catch the Psycho Knife, but he's down to 6 health. Murder has the shields, and he gets baited again. Esper acting like he's going to sword cancel. Ooh, Esper, the clutch player in the 1v1. Now up 2-0 after Murder looking like he had a strong start there. Wasn't able to close it out, though. Impressive games out of both. A lot of melee mechanics. I'm really enjoying watching the melee fight here. That's something I've always had a lot of fun and excelled at myself, so watching two other highly skilled players in the melee is always a treat for me. That means we will be heading, as City was banned, to Refinery for our third game. And we'll have to see here if Esper51 closes out the series or if Murder Mastodon can bring it back from the brink of defeat and keep himself alive. Waiting on our players to ready up. Esper51, a little bit of trivia for those who didn't know, used to be, again, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this, Juice Allah, back in the day when he used to play. Murder Mastodon, I mentioned earlier, was Tokyo Magnum. Both fairly well known names in the community. Played some in tournaments here and there. I've got to say, though, that Esper51, since the re-release, is a player that's improved greatly. He was always decent back in the day. You know, he was a good player. You could put him in any room and he'd, win a few matches here and there against just about any player. But since the re-release and finding a style that fits him, using a lot of blazing and ice, he's really improved a lot as a player, and it's made him a really strong 1v1 player, which is right here in his wheelhouse. So as we get here into Game 3, let's see if Esper51 can close it out. Alright, looks like we got a Nature 6 aura start out of Esper. He has a shield. Murder. Looks like we got the purple aura here for Faith. Or is that blue? Blue, I believe. Yeah, that's Kai. I think he's running a majority Kai deck. Don't see that very often, actually. Kai being an ideal support school, not usually the primary. And we see the reincarnation in Tiger Strength. So that, yeah, that's Kai Faith. Missed the gravity press, Esper51. So he's running Psycho along with the Nature. I think he actually did run Psycho Nature on Palace. I think we saw that on Palace as well. So this might be the same deck. Heat already on. Murder doesn't have a shield. Looks like he's kind of tentative about leaving the safety of his base. Armoroses. Wants to be a little bit safer. That blazing bullet now less scary than it was previously. Still no shield though. Doesn't look like he really wants to go and engage. Takes another 2 damage from the blazing bullet. Esper being a bit of a pest. Now has the Iron Skin. That's the second bit of damage he's taken from the railings pegging him. That's unfortunate for him, because every point of damage matters so much more in a 1v1 than it does in a tag match. There's no partners to pick you up. Murder now with the full Willow Rian combo with Tiger Strength. Has the Iron Skin to keep himself safe. Esper making it real close here. Some of the shots. Excels at firing from cover. One of the things Esper's really good at. Murder trying to get aggressive here, knowing that he has him at a disadvantage. Does land the 5 damage Willow, but trades back. One more shot takes Esper off of Blazing. Manages to get a Healing Water and another Heat to even out his damage. And that's another 5 damage Willow connecting. Esper getting hit by more Willows than I would expect normally. It's not the Reincarnation catching him, it's been the Willow. Must not want to lose his shield. There goes the Glacial Wall, so now he is shieldless. See if he can capitalize on it. Murder putting some good distance between them. Esper doing his best to get some damage down. Murder retreats intelligently and is now moving back on the attack. Oh, midair! And that about evens up the health. Esper takes a big hit, now uses another Healing Water. Still no shield though. But there's the Vacuum Slash, and Murder is down to 1 health. Didn't quite time that Willow right. And there it is. The trash finishes off Murder Mastodon, and we have a 3-0 victory for Esper51. Looking strong in his group. It'll be interesting to see, as he's almost guaranteed now to advance into the group stage afterwards. Or, excuse me, out of the group stage into the knockout. Wow, that was a fun match. Really good mechanics out of both players. Murder Mastodon giving a real run for it on every map. Not really laying down. Close matches that do turn out in a 3-0 for Esper51. Thanks for tuning in.